Are you an aspiring law student? Then these are the 5 brutal things you need to know before studying law. 1. Do not enter the university with the mindset that you're going to memorize the statutes, the law courses. Rather, go with the mindset that you're going to learn and understand the co-legal principles. Because when you are able to understand the principles and you're able to apply it to your everyday life, you will find out that law is very, very simple. The only time it becomes very hard for you is when you start memorizing the law. Because is it the contract law that you start memorizing? Is it the criminal law? Is it the law of thoughts? This is a test. Where would you start from? Is it the Criminal Code Act? Is it the Child Rights Act? So have the mindset that you're going to understand them, because when you understand them, it will be very, very easy for you to apply it to any issue that comes your way, right? So do not go there with that mindset, because that mindset alone would make law a difficult course. But when you understand the principles, you will see that law is one of the simplest courses, right? Secondly, do not joke with the law sound dress code. When you enter the university, try to dress well. I advise you that immediately you enter the university, you should go through the laws and constitution. Yes, the laws do have their constitution, especially the part that concern dress code. I know why I'm emphasizing on this dress code, because the lecturers, they don't play with the dress code. Imagine the issue of dress code stopping you from going to law school, like it has happened in my own school, Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Some students graduated very well, but due to the fact that they defaulted in their dress code one certain time, that is preventing them from going to law school. Dress code can actually prevent you from running for any executive position in law, like any position at all. Once you already defaulted in dress code, you cannot go for any position in law. So make sure you keep to that dress code, and their dress code is black gown for girls, white shirt and skirt, girls also, then black shoe, black bag. Then for guys, suit. Girls can also wear suit. Guys, suits, white shirts, black trouser, black shoes, right, and black bag. These are their dress code, and you should conform to that dress code. That also maintains the dignity of you being the law student. Like when you are properly dressed, like your fellow students studying other courses will be respecting you. Law is a very dignified course, right? Know that and know it right. Thirdly, immediately you enter the university, the first thing you should do is to start learning the lecturers. In the university, you find different kind of lecturers. Some of them jovial, some of them strict, some of them very, very strict. You are going to learn them and know the tricks to follow them. That is very, very important, so that you will not fall into their trap, right? No lecturer is bad, just that they want you to conform to their own way of teaching, right? So learn the lecturers and learn them very well, so that you know how to go about each and every one of the lecturers. Thirdly, make sure you come to class as early as possible. In fact, make sure you are in the class before the lecturer, because when you come to school early and you settle down, your brain will settle down, so that the lecturer comes in, everything he's teaching you'll be able to comprehend, than the lecturer being in the class before you. You'll be rushing to bring out your book, make your notes, do this, you'll be very, very scattered. So try to organize yourself, try to come very early, and the lecturers are noting the people that comes early to class. Some of these lecturers, they don't play with their classes. Once they set class 8 7 a.m 7:30 a.m 8 a.m, they are in class, and once they are in class, they will prevent others from coming inside the class, like students from coming inside the class immediately that time, with right. But some of the lecturer will still allow you to come in. It depends on that. Is why I said that you should learn the lecturer prior to this. So make sure you are in class before the lecturer, so that you'll be able to make your notes. If possible, record the lecturer. Then from the recordings, you can make your note from the recordings in combination with textbooks and statutes, right? You make a valid note that will help you during the exam. Then lastly but not the least, examination question. The way to answer law examination question. using IRAC or IPAC. Some people call it IPAC, some people call it IRAC. Anyone you decide to use. IPAC simply means issues, principles, application and conclusion. IRAC simply means issues, rules, application and conclusion. In law questions is seen to be the hardest question among all other courses, right? So in the university, they will provide you with two kind of question. One is the problematic question. It's called a problem question. Then two is the theoretical question. In your year one, they will have mention, maybe give you one problem question in your legal method, then other ones are theoretical questions, right? So the way to answer problematic question, see, when you see a problem question and a theoretical question, and I advise you that you go to a problem question. A problem question might appear to be hard, but when you are able to understand that problem question and know the principles to apply, it will earn you high mark than you answering theoretical question. Because when you're answering theoretical question, you are meant to exhaustively discuss everything, every single thing. So, and there may not be time for you to discuss. So I suggest you answer problem question whenever you see it, when you know the answer, when you know the principles. So whenever you are being provided with a problem question is more like they tell you stories of what happened. Emeka, in agreement with Obinna and Emeka, agrees to steal from Mr. D's house, and this happened, right? First of all, you are going to use the IRAC or IPAC method. Identify the issue from that, the whole scenario they gave to you. Read it very well and know the fact that it's an issue. So you identify it, whether or not the act of Emeka, Obinna, and any other person amounts to conspiracy as provided under the statute, right? You cite the particular section of the statute. So that is your issue, whether or not the act of Emeka and Obinna amounts to conspiracy. That is your issue. Then your principle now is, this is where you try to establish this law. What statute defined conspiracy? You cite it, you define it according to the statute. You cite the elements of conspiracy. What are the things that need to be present before conspiracy will be said to have come to play, right? These are the things you're going to establish, and this is where you're going to establish your cases and statutory authorities. Like in the case of this and this, Oko vs. Fegbemi, conspiracy is defined, or that this is where you're going to establish your principles. While establishing these principles, you've not touched the facts. Remember, the scenario that was given to you in the examination are still in your papers, but you're just working on the principles now. Immediately you establish the issue, the next thing is to work on your principles, establish the laws. Then in application is where you now link up all those principles you've established with the fact of the case being with the scenario being provided to you, right? You now link it up. Does the act of Obinna, Emeka, and this amount of conspiracy, this and this, flowing from the principle established earlier on, right? So you now tie it to the fact of the scenario provided to you, tie it to the principles. Then under conclusion, you now conclude whether or not it is actually conspiracy, their act amount to conspiracy or not. Then if they tell you to advise the party, you go on to advise whether or not they can be sued, whether or not they can settle outside the court and all that. So that is how to answer law questions, and it is very, very sweet when you understand it. But when you don't understand the principle, that is where the hardship comes in. So try to understand. My name is Nwafo Emanuela Ezine. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my channel to show me a favor so that you get more other law tips, more other legal knowledge, and everything related to law you need to know about the university before entering into the as an aspiring law student. See you in my next tip. Thank you.